Oh, good afternoon, YTPC. It's about 12:30 here. I thought I'd get my little video for New Year's Eve prepared. I suppose it's the same all over the world, that things are a bit subdued for New Year's Eve because you can't have get-togethers, and a lot of restaurants, certainly here, are closed. And if you haven't got the tourists, then you're not going to do big fireworks shows. So I imagine a lot of people are doing what we're doing, is just having the two of us, or just a little family together, your direct family, nice dinner and everything, and watch some entertainment on TV. And some of those shows might be from previous years, because they're not making those big productions anymore, or not the live ones anyway, the ones in the theatre or whatever. But still, I have if you like, a happy heart going into 2021, that it's got to be better than 2020. Though I think we will see that more in the second half of the coming year, but even so. I'm smoking my Paranetti pipe here. Beautiful Italian pipe maker. This is the Volcano ones. These are with a little V here, and not so expensive. Beautiful rustic one. I bought that in Tabacci, the little shop here in Brig in Switzerland, a couple of a year and a half ago. Very nice, beautifully made pipe. And in it, I'm only just making a dent now in the amount in this tin of Golden Days of Yore, which is just a lovely tobacco. So I'm probably going to take that as a winter tobacco and keep smoking it as we get into January and February. I showed you this lighter. I'm using my own recommendation of a rubber band. Well, that's my snow shovel has just moved. And this actually does, even this rubber band on this little lighter, if you move it up to the joint, does keep the fuel in. So it used to almost be out in one day, and maybe I'll get 2 days out of it now. Well, a new year. I was actually pondering, how was it then in 1921, going into that year? What were the big things happening in 1921? I've only written a few of things down, of course. It was still a lot of consequences from the Great War, the First World War, and at that time a lot of treaties were being signed between countries to kind of repair the damages, as it were, or make final agreements. We had one, of course, I'm sure there's a ghost in here, You're quite welcome just to stay, as long as the pipe smoke doesn't disturb you. Doesn't say anything, but just probably a poltergeist, in a shed, So the Irish Anglo Treaty was signed in 1921, which a year later led to the formal independence of the Irish Republic. So that's one thing I noted as an example there. President Harding was your president, at least I think from March or April, May, around that time. Here's a photo of him. In Britain we had David Lloyd George, the genial Welsh Prime Minister, still a legend to this day, socialist, but what can you do? Here's a photo of him. And in Switzerland, I bet none of you know the answer to who was the Bundespräsident of Switzerland in 1921, and it was Edmund Schulthess. And here's a photo of him. And all those photos, apart from Lloyd George, he looked kind of sort of jovial and just about to crack a joke, but the others are very severe and stern, you know. I think that was just the style of photos of the day, you know. Today, it's, of course, they're always smiling, grinning and whatever. So another thing that happened then was Babe Ruth. Of course, got the broke the record, the old record for home runs from Roger Connor, who held it for 34 years, and Babe Ruth broke that and eventually went on to achieve 714 home runs. That must have been something to watch, you know. I'm sure it's a tradition all over the world to make New Year resolutions. Well, I tried to make a list. As you can imagine, it's been the same list for about 30 years, but you know, it's important to have a list. Got to have a list of New Year resolutions. Lose weight and get fit. Well, I've had that about 20 years at least. Well, I'll work on it, you know. Drink less. I didn't write that. Who wrote that? My wife's been at my list. Don't buy too many pipes and tobacco. I may have written that, but I didn't mean it, you know. It's important to have some things on your list that go on the next list, you know, to have continuity, you know, otherwise you'll never achieve anything. I should look at my other hobbies a little bit more, like my pistol shooting, and make some reviews, more reviews of those, because I've rather ignored that too long. And next year definitely I will realise the wish and resolution to travel more to London, New York, maybe other places in the United States, and to Italy, to Rome, Milano or Florence. Beautiful cities. If you've not been there, gotta go there. May add one or two to that. Still working on it. But how is your New Year's resolutions shaping up? Are you going to do any? What are they? And maybe give me an idea in your comments below. Some of you may have noticed my Russell 10 year went pretty quick because I had a few guests, and those who smoke, we come out to the shed, and there's room for about 3 or 4 people here, and it's gone. So I'm on to Evan Williams Bottled and Bombed. which is not an expensive one, and I recommend it to any bourbon aficionado because I find it excellent for the money. And of course in Switzerland we pay nearly twice as what you pay in the United States. They have to get it over and ship it and tax it and whatever, you know. But I don't know, it's somewhere around $30 over here, 30 to 40, something like that. So it's affordable, put it that way. Well, continually I've heard news from some friends of members of the family getting sick, and some have died because of this terrible plague. That will be one of my resolutions, to try as well as I can avoid it until I get my inoculation, my vaccine shot. And really has, of course, cast a terrible dark shadow over everything. One great piece of good news, however, is the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine is now ready to be rolled out, approved and everything. Doesn't need low temperature storage. So we have at least 3 vaccines. If you count Sputnik in Russia, we have 4 on a world basis to try and combat things. So we're certainly in a much better position in terms of turning the tide than we were at the beginning of this year. So that's 3 or 4 rays of sunshine as we go into 2021. And on that thought, I wish everybody in YTPC a very happy and joyous new year, and a good start and a healthy start above all, and a progressively better year as we get through it. You take care, everyone. Happy New Year to you. Bye bye.